You're listening to Vaquero News, the Valley Student Station.
Good afternoon, Vaqueros. Today is Monday, September 19th, and we are coming to you live from our Edinburgh studio, as always, where it is currently 91 degrees outside. I'm your host, Rodolfo Alvarado.
And I'm Jan Trejo.
And welcome to Vaquero News.
With the fourth week of classes just beginning, many people may need some financial reassurance while attending classes here at UTRGV. Here's Silvana Villarreal with how UTRGV helps students financially.
UTRGV is offering a helping hand to students in need through programs such as the Student Food Pantry, Student Emergency Fund, and other monetary incentives. The Student Food Pantry is a program that helps students with food insecurity who are unsure when their next meal will be. UNIV course professor at UTRGV, Erika Perez, shared her experience with food insecurity while a college student.
They have several non-perishable items that a student can have, like soups or tuna or corn that they can create their meals. So it's a great resource for students because I know that may be one of the challenges that students have.
UTRGV also partners with Swipe Out Hunger to bring currently enrolled students at the Edinburgh campus one free meal per day. Swipe Out Hunger works with UTRGV dining services to distribute meals to students' ID cards at the dining hall. The Student Emergency Fund is a sum of money loaned to a currently enrolled student that acts as temporary financial relief for students at risk of dropping out of the semester due to unforeseen accidents, emergencies, or events. Director of Policy and Strategy at University of Texas El Paso, Jacob Frere, said that this program is not available for all universities, but he is promoting the use of the program across all institutions.
The early research on emergency aid indicates that it does help students stay in the classroom and finish that semester.
Students are eligible if their attendance at UTRGV is in jeopardy or financial funds are insufficient. However, funds are limited and it is at a first-come, first-served basis. UTRGV is also working to open new job opportunities for enrolled students. President Guy Bailey has worked towards increasing student jobs at UTRGV because he believes it builds a community and it is the most important thing the university can do for the students.
We always continue to increase that. We've increased their wages. If you don't, those students are working somewhere. Having them work on campus is important. They're building a community of support when they do that.
This is Silvana Villarreal with Vaquero Radio.
Last week marked the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, and many people here in the Rio Grande Valley find ways of celebrating their roots. Here's Fatima Gámez Lopez from the Rider newspaper with more.
Mathematical and statistical science lecturer Jose Ponce grew up on the other side of the border. Quote, I was born here, in Brownsville, Texas, but I lived most of my life in Mexico until I was a teenager. Ponce said, I came back to the United States, I had to learn English on my own, and then look for ways to complete my education. Ponce says his transition from living in Mexico to the U.S. was difficult as he faced discrimination. Quote, there were a lot of things that today people can't do to you, but in those days, it was all about groups staying together and being non-inclusive of others. Ponce says, it is important to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs from September 15 to October 15, because of the contribution Hispanics have made in education, government, science, and other fields. Quote, it is very important to recognize that we are a minority, that we are no longer that minor, and it's fast growing and it's part of everything. Management Clinical Assistant Professor Azucena Herrera Aguado agreed that it is important to recognize Hispanic contributions. Quote, it is part of our culture and traditions. We must have symbols that are associated with our identity. When we have something nice, we want to show it to others. And so, I think this month contains very important dates for those of us who are Hispanic and for those of us with Hispanic heritage. Herrera Aguado shared her experience moving from Mexico to the Rio Grande Valley. Quote, interacting with a language that is not yours is not easy. If someone comes to the United States but is not willing to follow the formula, the American dream can be distorted because it's not going to be the dream that they imagine. Herrera Aguado says she would have liked to tell her young self when she came to the United States not to be afraid. Quote, do it. Make up your mind now. It will always scare you, but that should not stop you. Start it and don't leave it, and go for what you want. Go for what your dream is. In observance of Hispanic Heritage Month, UTRGV will host different events through Friday. The University Library is offering resources such as e-books, print books, streaming films, and online exhibits during the observance. For more information and to access the resources, visit Hispanic Heritage Month Live Guides. The Council for Cultural Activities and the for Student Involvement will host Café Latino Americano from noon to 1:30 p.m. Tuesday in Salon Casia on the Brownsville campus, and from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Friday in the University Ballroom on the Edinburgh campus. Attendees might get a taste of food from different Latin American countries. From 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. September 28, the Student Union will host a book club meeting on the book Dominicana by Angie Cruz in the Student Union Loft on the Edinburgh campus, and at the same time in the Student Union La Sala on the Brownsville campus. Students can sign up on B-Link to receive a free ebook copy. This is Fatima Games Lopez for The Writer.
That story was written by Fatima Games Lopez, the Spanish editor for the Writer newspaper. If you want more details or are interested in reading the story in its entirety, you can visit the Writer website at utrgvwriter.com. That's utrgvrider.com. Or you can pick up their latest physical issue from the many newsstands around campus.
UTRGV has added a new time for the Campus Connector. Here is more information greeted by Juan Villarreal from the Writer newspaper.
UTRGV Parking and Transportation Services has reinstated the 8:10 p.m. Campus Connector bus route after it was discontinued at the beginning of the semester. Executive Director of UTRGV Parking and Transportation Services Rodney Gomez says the change was motivated by demand. Quote, "We wanted to make sure we were able to meet that demand and not leave anyone behind." According to Gomez, UTRGV shifted a bus onto the 8:10 p.m. slot for the students who need transportation between the Brownsville and Edinburgh campuses. Gomez says that the higher demand was not the only concern in the evenings. Quote, "We're averaging a little under 2,000 trips a day. If we project the numbers of service days, that's over 400,000 trips in a year." Graphic design senior Ayeli Garcia is from Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico, and makes the commute from Brownsville to Monday through Thursday. She says she is glad they added the 8:10 p.m. line. Quote, "I got home around 12 a.m., and I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to come back to campus. I take the 7:30 a.m. bus, and my classes end around 7:25 p.m. Some students have had concerns regarding the visual arts building line being overcrowded. However, Gomez responded by saying, quote, "It's Valley Metro that operates that. They have different policies that they follow. If there is a specific situation, they can reach out to us. We can get in contact with Valley Metro immediately." This is Rodolfo Alvarado for Vaquero News. Like I mentioned, that story was written by Juan Villarreal from the Writer newspaper. For the full story, you can visit utrgvwriter.com or pick up their latest issue. A long-running comic book store is closing and moving its shop online in Brownsville. Here is Silvana Villarreal with more.
After 7 years of service to the community of Brownsville, Nostalgia Video Games and Comics said goodbye to its customers by hosting a final level event on September 9th. The store marked the end of an era as it closed indefinitely. Nostalgia's owner Jesus Cortez said his reasons for closing include increasing exposure through an online forum and saving money on overhead expenses.
You know, it's hard to compete with the Amazons and the Walmarts of the world.
Employee and Cortez's mother-in-law, Juanita Hernandez, witnessed the many kinds of employees who passed through the years. Professionals, hardworking people, students, a little bit of everything. Longtime comic book enthusiast and middle school teacher Andy Nájera experienced the store's closing firsthand.
It means literacy for a lot of people, you know, and art, also experiencing art. But I guess with the internet and online buying and online now, these bookstores and comic book stores are kind of maybe going the way of dinosaurs.
As the economy and society changes, business owners have to change with it, local business owner Eric Sainz said.
I think that's where everything's headed right now. There's opportunities online for sure.
Sainz, who's also a longtime customer, expressed his appreciation for the now closed store.
Actually, to have a place to come and pick it up versus to have to get everything online, you know, it was amazing.
Regardless, the goodbye brought everyone to tears, Hernandez said. Everyone's crying. According to Cortez, an online shop is still in the works. It is expected to open within 1 or 2 months. However, its Facebook page will still be open.
It's been kind of bittersweet with the closing because I get a lot of people that are sad, but it's been good. Just want to say thanks, for 7 years.
This is Silvana Villarreal with Vaquero Radio.
Hello, Vaqueros. This week we are going to do something a little bit different. We have the Spanish translation for that story, read by ours truly, Assistant Station Manager Jan Luis Trejo. Hope you enjoy.
Después de 7 años sirviendo a la comunidad de Bronzeville, Nostalgia Video Games and Comics se despidió de sus clientes al organizar un evento llamado Última Ronda, el 9 de septiembre. El puesto de cómics ubicado en 1474 W Price Road, Suite 2, marcó el final de una era, cuando cerró sus puertas indefinidamente. El dueño de Nostalgia, Jesús Cortés, dijo que sus razones para cerrar el negocio se extienden más allá de solo ahorrar dinero en gastos generales, sino también crecer su negocio en línea. Es difícil competir con los Amazons y Walmarts del mundo. Empleada y suegra de Cortés, Juanita Hernández fue testigo del tipo de gente que pasó por la tienda de cómics a través de los años.
Profesionistas, gente trabajadora, estudiantes, de todo.
Fanáticos de cómics y maestros de secundaria, Andy Nejera asistió a la última ronda. Supongo que con el internet y compras en línea, tiendas de libros y libretas de cómics están en camino con los dinosaurios. Pero como va cambiando la economía y sociedad, los dueños del negocio tienen que cambiar con ello. El antiguo cliente Eric Sainz dijo: creo que allá es donde todo se dirige. Hay muchas oportunidades en línea seguramente. Sainz, un dueño del negocio local, expresó su agradecimiento a la tienda. Tener un lugar al cual podemos ir y recoger cómics en vez de tener todo en línea fue asombroso. El adiós conmovió a todos, Hernández dijo.
Todos están llorando.
De acuerdo a Cortés, la tienda en línea sigue siendo desarrollada. Se espera que en 1 o 2 meses. Sin embargo, la página de Facebook seguirá abierta. Ha sido un poco agridulce el cierre porque hay mucha gente que está triste, pero ha sido bueno, dijo Cortés. Gracias por 7 años. Este es Jan Trejo, traduciendo noticias para Vaquero Radio.
And now for this week's events calendar.
What's up, Vaqueros? These are the events of the week. We have from 11 to 1 p.m. the Internship Week kickoff event. This event will be on Monday, September 19. We have from 12:30 to 1:30 on Wednesday, September 21st, the Internship Panel Faculty Staff Perspective. And on Friday, from 12:30 to 1:30 on September 23rd, we have the HACU National Internship Program. If you want to know more information about this, make sure to register on Handshake to have all the Zoom links. This is Jan Trejo with the events.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV field house.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
The UTRGV volleyball team has certainly raised the bar at the beginning of this season. Here's Matthew Gonzalez from the Writer newspaper.
This season has been one for the records for UTRGV volleyball, with outside hitter Sarah Cruz setting a personal best with 1,095 kills, putting her 9th in program history, and head coach Todd Lowry holds 14 school records, more than any coach in program history. Cruz, who joined the team in 2018, reached 9th place on September 10th during the game against Montana University. It was crazy because I didn't expect this to be like at the beginning of the season, she said. I was working toward that. I wanted to reach that goal during the season. But then I was very shocked when they announced it, and then they gave me the ball. And then it was also very exciting, so I was very happy for that. Lowry achieved his 14th record for most neutral site wins when the team won the game against Oral Roberts University at 10 a.m. last Friday in Lubbock. His other records are wins, winning percentage, home wins, home winning percentage, road wins winning percentage, neutral site winning percentage, conference wins percentage, conference home win percentage, conference road wins, and conference road wins percentage. The head coach credits his success to everyone from assistant coaches to support staff. Ultimately, whoever is sitting in the head seat gets a lot of the credit, but it's never that way, he said. I always say it's like a turtle sitting on a fence post, They didn't get on a fence post without a lot of help, and that's how I feel. Everything from players to assistant coaches to support staff. That's ultimately what allows us to win and win at a high level. The team consists of 12 international and 5 American athletes. Lowry hopes to continue fostering the diversity and quality of players who are both international and American students. It's not easy to just go out and grab talent from the state of Texas or whatever it is, or across the country, he said. And now, what it's grown into, we're starting to attract some next level of Texas kid or the next level American kid. And that's what you see in the gym right now, is people like Paris Key and Natalie Reyes and Sydney Schoen. And that blend of inner high quality international kids with the next level American kid and blending those two things together have allowed us to create a lot of depth in our program that we weren't creating early on. In the theme of moving forward and evolving, assistant head coach Vinny Bagan had come up with different practice techniques for the team. I've been playing volleyball since I was 9 years old, Bagan said. I could write a Bible of volleyball drills. There's a point in time that you get bored of the same stuff, so you have to constantly be innovating and creating new stuff. I feel like this is where some coaches, they get lost. They're very traditional and they don't want to change it, but everything changes. Where in 2022, whatever was happening in the world in 1970 is completely different than what it is now. So for you not to get caught and be stuck, you have to constantly be open to change and see what's working. Like any team, there are bound to be some bumps in the road. Cruz said meetings address those situations. So we have team meetings if something comes up, Cruz said. So we talked about it, like in our small little group as a team. Or if it's just personal, like one-on-one situation, then we just talk about each other on a personal level. We try to figure it out. That's how we fix things. For more information, visit goutrgv.com. This is Matthew Gonzalez for The Writer.
Hello, Vaqueros. Happy Monday. This week, for the sports schedule, from Thursday to Saturday, we will have the Women's Tennis Regional versus ITA Regionals in Fort Worth, Texas. From Friday to Sunday, the men's tennis team will face UTSA in San Antonio, Texas. To wrap up the week, at noon this Sunday in Edinburgh, the women's soccer team will play against Sam Houston. And that's all for the week, Vaqueros.
Now for this week's campus weather report.
Good afternoon, Vaqueros. Today in the valley, it is sunny with a high of 94 degrees Fahrenheit and a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. For Tuesday, there is a slight chance of thunderstorms with a high of 92 degrees Fahrenheit. The following days are expected to be sunny and clear skies with highs of 93 and lows of 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
And that's all we have for you today.
Hey, be sure to join us next week, same place, for Vaquero News. Remember, if you missed our newscast, make sure to go to our YouTube channel, share with your friends, and share with everybody so you can have the latest news of UTRGV.
And a big thank you to the Writer newspaper for helping us with this week's newscast. Be sure to visit their website once again at utrgvwriter.com. That is utrgvrider.com. And don't forget to pick up their latest issues around campus. They are still holding their scavenger hunt, which ends on the 23rd of this month. If you missed any clues from previous weeks, you can still look them up on their website as well as on their social media accounts. Until next week, have a great day, Vaqueros.
This has been Vaquero Radio News.